Hello, everyone, and welcome back to X-Carbovore. Again, my name is Kian Anian. I'm your host for these few minutes, and thank you again for joining and clicking on this video. You know, our material is a little different here from other carnivore channels, and there's a reason for that. I'd like to talk to you more about that on the inside. Hello again, and welcome back to X-Carbovore. This is day 14 of our journey for this year, 2025. We're excited. We're having a great time. I know it seems that I'm a little melancholy today. We have a few things going on in the family, but I didn't want to stop producing videos and speaking to you about the journey. Part of what I do that's a little different than others is I report my numbers daily. Now, even if I wasn't seeing you or wasn't on live or recording it daily for you, I would still be doing it for myself. Now, I normally don't recommend what I do for others, and to each his own. Uh, and there was a period of time I didn't take my weight every day. Uh, it used to be if I took my weight and I saw that I was doing great, it gave me a reason to cheat because I said, hey, I'm doing awesome. Let's go ahead and break this mold and let's just do our thing now. Um, if I wasn't doing so well, that also gave me reason to cheat. I'm working so hard. I'm sacrificing all of this. I'm not eating. I'm not this, and I'm still not losing, or I'm still feeling bad, or so the weight thing never was helpful for me. That wasn't even my why of doing it, but it was a reason for me to break. Um, I take my blood every day. And for that, I like to know that I'm in ketosis. I like to know what my food is doing to me or what foods affect me and in what ways. So glucose and ketones. Then I learned about the GKI and I started working that. So everyone has their own way of doing things. But this was the way that I approached this journey. And in the beginning, I just thought it would be for a while, but I found that if I didn't take these numbers, I couldn't be accountable. I would say, oh, my wife would ask me, how is your ketones? And if I didn't take it, I would tell her, I don't know, I didn't take it. And then who knows? I mean, maybe I don't take it for a week. I could easily cheat today and 6 days later, 5 days later, get back into ketosis. You know, I mean, not that that's a good way. I'm just saying there was opportunity. I'm a carboholic. I'm a bad guy when it comes to carbs. I mean, I see a pie or I see a bag of what we call here in Sweden goodies. I'm going to put my nose in it so I could smell that wonderful smell. The food that I'm not supposed to, the forbidden fruit, you know, that's who I am. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm worse, I would say, than a drug addict. I'm worse than someone that has a cocaine addiction. I'm truly addicted to carbohydrates. And I can't take a little, no more than a alcoholic could take a small shot or a beer and not fall into the pit. That's me. It takes me months to come out of that thing. I thought it would just take a day or two. I'm not one that could cheat a little and just get right back on it. That's not me. So I take these numbers for three good reasons. And my first reason, if I wanted to label it out, maybe three or four good reasons. My first reason is for accountability. Okay, accountability to myself, but if it's also better if I'm accountable to someone else. So, yeah, This whole channel is built so that I can make it. I mean, I love that you love what you see. I love that you join me every day, but it's really built for me. This is probably the most selfish thing I've ever done. I built this channel so I can make it. That's how much it means to me. I need to make this. I need to survive this. I need to get through all of this addiction that I have. So I built this channel so I would survive. And I know there are some of you that have contacted me. Why are you buying this? Why have you bought this machine? It doesn't make any sense. Yes, for you it may not, but for me, it's a necessity. It helps me to make it. I'm accountable. I mean, this is the mechanism that it took for me to take care of my health. I mean, you have an addiction when you are sick and you still can't stop doing the thing that's making you sick. I have someone I know that was ill, very ill, and he could have changed his life. He could have changed his ways for his children. He could have changed his ways. And it was too late. And I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want, wow, I didn't know this video would come like this, but I didn't want this to happen in my life. I want to give my family my best. I want to give my church my best. And shame on me if I can't fight to overcome this thing, you know? So accountability. So there's so my self accountability, but accountability to you as well, because that's another line of defense. Yeah, it's another reason for me to, if I don't show up one day, then you could start thinking, did he fall? Did he drop out? Did he slip? That's why I show these things, because, and it has to be real. This can't be something manufactured. It can't be something made up. And some of you don't know how important it is when I see that you're watching, when I see your comments. It means so much to help me stay alive. It means so much. So accountability is my first reason for doing my numbers and making this channel mostly about my data. The second reason is for public record. Now, in the community, the carnivore community, there's not a lot of data that people see daily. We have some showing an annual report from a doctor or someone showing or saying their weight. Some people take a weight weekly. I don't do that. I just give it all my numbers together. But I like to show you the ups and downs, because the reality is that you're not always going to lose weight on the carnivore diet. You're going to have your up days as well. And you can eat perfectly well and still have an up day. And leave it to your body to figure out. Leave it to your body to figure out. But also, you have to be aware of what it was that you ate. What are you eating? It's just simple. I could have taken this to the nth degree. I thought about sharing my all of my numbers, my caloric intake, my carbohydrate intake, my protein intake, all of these things. I thought about doing as well, but then I thought, well, maybe that's overkill. But you know what? Maybe it makes sense so that they go well with the numbers, because I want to make a public record so that in the years, because I plan to do this at least for the entire year, as far as making this public record. I plan to do carnivore the rest of my life, but I plan to do this at least the entire year. And I want to share these numbers so that others can see you can be in ketosis and live daily in a ketogenic state. You know, and that's really what this is all about for me, is to contribute this way. Maybe you are wondering, is this normal? I mean, your ketones are 4.3. Should I be afraid? Well, look, I'm doing just fine. You understand? Or is this normal? My ketones are 0.7. Should I worry about that? I can't get higher than this. No, you're fine. I mean, these are things that I want to make public record. And it's not truly scientific because there's no one here to watch me. But you see my glucose, you see my ketones, you see when I'm drawing my own blood, you see when I'm stepping on that scale, you see when I'm doing my blood pressure. All of these things are visible. You can look at the history and see that my blood pressure was high, and at least you could see the hypertension stage 2 before. You can't, I don't know that I have record of my hypertension stage 3. I looked back, but my machine doesn't keep it that far back. But my hypertension stage 2, you could see from the beginning of this year, and you can look where I am now as being normal, very normal, without medication. You know, these are public records. And I want to contribute to this community. I want to do the best I can. And since I'm taking my readings anyway, why not make them public? Why not share it with you? Why not make it part of a daily process and do some good? Why not? Lastly, I just want to say that everyone doesn't have the same opinion. Everyone doesn't have the same way of expressing themselves when it comes to being in public. But this is my way of doing it. And it may not be for everyone, but it's helpful for me. And so I don't recommend for you to run out and, get a Keto Mojo or go out and get a lipids panel machine or anything like that. It's all up to you, but that's not a recommendation for me. It helped me, but it may not be the thing you need to do. I mean, I could just go on and just eat properly, and I'm sure I'm going to lose weight. But it's so much nicer when I know what's happening inside of my body, especially because of my medical history. So like I said, I want to thank you for jumping in and clicking this video and watching me just for a little bit. Every day, it means that much to me. Now, let's get into my numbers for the day. All right, as always, we're going to start with my blood pressure. My blood pressure was awesome. Once again, I'm in a zone. I'm staying put where I've been for like the last week or so. I'm hoping to start having regular readings in the teens, but as it stands today, my blood pressure is 125/76, and I'll accept it. Anything I'm doing right now without medications is a good thing. So thank you, Carnivore, for keeping me off meds and keeping my blood pressure even lower than it was when I was on the losartan 100 milligrams. Thanks a lot. Couldn't have done it without Carnivore. Next, let's look at my glucose. Glucose for me, it's really been weird. 2 days ago, my glucose was 4.6, and I thought, wow, it's rare that I'm in the fours, but when I'm in the fours, I'm excited. I had 4 days in a row being in the fours until that 5.6 came, and then I went back down. I'm sorry. Then when did I go to 4.6? Was 4.6? Yeah, 4.6. No, it was 4 days in a row in the fours. Then it was 5.1. Then it was 5.6. No, it was 5.1, then it was 4.6, then it was 5.6, which was really weird. Now today it's 4.3. I said all that just to say that's the lowest I think I've ever been in my glucose. And once again, I got to say thanks to carnivore. We look at my ketones. I like to keep my ketones above 2. I'm not so hard about that. 0.5 to 1.5 is the normal range, but I believe I feel best when my ketones is above 2. And the only thing I do, I can't tell my body, say, keep my ketones above 2. It's not like I twist a button or something like that. My body builds these things. I mean, it's super. And I can't wait until I'm 90 days in or so when all of my cells are able to use this fuel to its perfect ability. I'm going to be a Superman, I'm sure. Today, my ketones were 4.8. 4.8. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Now, after looking at my glucose and ketones, we always look at the GKI. GKI tells me how they are working together, both the glucose and ketones, and affecting my health. My GKI, I like to keep 3 and below. If you started with me at the beginning of the year, you would know my GKI was in the 60s and the 50s, which was, there was no therapeutic effect there. Therapeutic effect starts when you hit 9 and below. So I want to be 3 and below because of my tumors and all of this that's going on here with me. So today, my GKI was 0.8. It's the lowest one I've ever had. I mean, I've come to 0.9 a few times, but 0.8, just an awesome thing. Another day in the life of a carnivore. All right. Lastly, let's talk about my weight. My weight, I really feel like I should have been at a stall by now. I expect to lose maybe 0.2 to 0.3 kilograms a day until I hit my stall. Now, yesterday, from yesterday to today, I lost 0.2 kilograms. So I went from 88.2 to 88.0. And that's the report. Wow. So that's it for today. I want to thank you again for joining me and making this a wonderful, wonderful experience walking this journey with you. I love carnivore and I love the carnivore community and I love you for watching and participating with me. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and let others know that we're here. Don't forget that there's a guy like me doing a thing like this. God bless you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.